Alright, so this is part 3 of how you can go ahead and wholesale your very first property step by step. Alright, so in part 2 of the video, you should know how to go ahead and build that team on the ground that you need, how to go ahead and network with cash buyers and investors so that you have those when you get a property under contract. So in this part of the video, part 3, we're going to talk about how you can go ahead and find homes to go target, or how you can go ahead and find motivated sellers so that you can go ahead and sell them to investors. And in this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So the very first question obviously is, how do I find them? And there are a few ways that you can go ahead and find them. The very first way that I recommend is going to a list source. That's exactly how I do it, and so I'll go ahead and hop on my computer and show you how I do it. Some people just like to filter out more things, which could be good. And so the more you filter through and the more narrow you get in your search, the more likely you might be able to get a seller who's motivated and more interested in selling their property. So everyone does it differently again, but depending on who you've networked with, which is why in the part 1 or part 2 of my video, I strained the fact that it's really important to network with an investor or cash buyer first, just because they can give you their criteria and you can pretty much filter that through list source. And so let's say they're looking for like a 3-bed property. You can just filter through that and make sure that you only get properties that are 3 bedrooms. And let's say that they're looking for properties with 2 bathrooms, and so that's something that you can filter as well. And again, by knowing the criteria that your investors are looking for, the more narrow that you can go ahead and get your list into, and you can also be able to target those people who are looking to sell and who fit the criteria of your investors. So that's why I strained that part a lot, and it'll just be a lot easier for you to go ahead and target those sellers and sell it to your investors that you've already networked with. So another thing is, some people look at year built as well. Honestly, once you get the criteria from your buyers and whatnot, most of the time, as long as you get the bed and bathroom correct, I think that's all you need. Again, in the other options, you can set it as owner occupied, absentee owned. Really, it's up to you. I don't really do trustee owned. Exclude corporate owned, I don't do that as well. And everything else, I just try to keep it really simple, and depending on who I'm trying to find the properties for, again, you can narrow down and filter through your property list over here. And then pretty much from there, you can just click purchase list, and this is where you go ahead and skip trace your properties so that you can go ahead and give them a call and call these homeowners so that you can go ahead and send them a contract to get the property under contract. Now, if you don't like list source and you don't like how their system is built or whatever, you can also use PropStream. It's another one that you can use. I know a lot of people use it as well. I just use list source just because that's what I'm familiar with and that's what I started out with as well. But feel free to go check out PropStream as well. I know I've heard really good things about it, and you can find properties there as well. So it really doesn't matter which one you use. Here's another one that I've heard about, Property Radar. You can go check them out too if you want to find, if you want to get a new list, or if you don't want to go with list source. So here's another one, and I believe another one that I found is DataZap. I've never used this before, but these are some things that I've heard of and looked at, and you can always go ahead and do a Google search too and see if you can find alternatives to list source if you don't like it as well. But again, that's just what I'm used to. That's what I use most of the time. So it's up to you. You don't have to use it. You can use it if you want. Here are some other ones, and you can always do a quick Google search to see if there's another one that you can find on your own. So once you found and purchased that list from list source or wherever you go ahead and purchase that initial list from, then the next step for you is to go ahead and skip trace that list. And what that means is you're pretty much trying to figure out what the person's phone number is that you bought on that list. So when you first purchase the list, you don't get a list of phone numbers or emails or anything. You get their property information, their property address, number of bed and bath, maybe some square footage year built, and that's about it. And so you need to go ahead and figure out what their phone numbers are and what their email is in order for you to go ahead and contact them. And the way for you to do that is through something called Skiptracing. And so there are a few Skiptracing services that I can recommend. The very first thing is to go to Upwork. Another one is to go to Fiverr, or you can go ahead and do a quick Google search to find them as well. We also built our own Skiptracing tool, so if you guys like to use that too, you're more than welcome. Just hit me up and we can get that going for you as well if you want to use our Skiptracing services. But I'll show you more in detail how you can go and find these Skiptracing services on this video right here. So I know I mentioned Upwork and Fiverr, and those are paid methods, but if you want to do it for free and if your list is not that big, you can go to peoplefinders.com and also do the same thing, and you can skip trace for free pretty much. So you just have to put the person's name, last name, city and state, or if you put their address as well, you can go ahead and find their phone numbers that way as well. Another free site that you can go ahead and use is True People Finder. Let me see if I can find it here. Or True People Search, that's the one. So if you go to True People Search, you can go ahead and again put their name, city, state, or zip, or you can just do a reverse address as well and get that information on that person as well. So that's something that you can go ahead and do if you don't want to spend money skip tracing. But again, this is a manual work and it's going to take a lot of time to do this for every single contact that you have. And if you have 1,000 contacts that you need to go and skip trace, this can take you an hour if you're doing it on your own. But if you pay someone to do it, you can get that done relatively quickly and also with no manual labor for you. So Upwork, here's a way that you can go ahead and do it. So skip tracing, if you just type that on Upwork, you should be able to find a good amount of people who are offering that service for however much they need to be paid per hour. You can also do it based on a project. I don't know how good these people are going to be, so that's something that you're going to have to take into consideration when you're hiring someone from Upwork. It does mean that they are cheap per hour, but at the same time, you also have to figure out whether or not it's worth it for you to go ahead and hire these people, because if they're not using a good system to skip trace, if they're not using a good system to skip trace your list, you're pretty much wasting them, because you're going to get bad phone numbers first of all. And even if they might provide you with 3 phone numbers, if all of them are not good at all, or if they're landlines too that are disconnected or whatever, and you just can't get in touch with them, then you pretty much wasted your money at that point, and you've wasted your time as well. So you want to make sure that they're good. But you can go ahead and vet through them. A lot of people leave reviews, so you should be able to see who does a good job and whatnot. But Upwork can be one place that you go to. Another place that you can go to is Fiverr. Again, if you type in skip tracing, you'll find a bunch of people. Here you can see some reviews on their exact work on skip tracing. So over here, you can go ahead and, like, for example, this person has 168 5-star reviews, and they'll do 100 leads for $5. So you can go ahead and use that person if you'd like. It really depends. He said he'll give you 6 phone numbers and 2 emails. Again, I just don't know how accurate and how good the hit rate of the numbers are. A lot of times, they give you this, but then they might have like a 60% hit rate, meaning only 60% of the contacts you give them, they're able to go ahead and find phone numbers and email addresses for. And even with the 60% rate, you're gonna have to say, okay, well, maybe 50% of that might be the correct number. So, it quickly goes down from there, and you wanna make sure that they give you the best possible phone numbers and whatnot that you can go ahead and work with. So again, keep that in mind, but if they have good reviews on Fiverr, they're more than likely to be able to, provide you with the service that you need. And $5 for 100 leads is what? It's about 5 cents per lead, so that's definitely not a bad number for sure. And if Upwork and Fiverr don't work for you, you can just type in skip tracing on Google and see what other people are charging you as well. So for example, you can go to, let's see, for example, badge skip tracing. And again, a lot of the people from Fiverr and Upwork, they might be using like really cheap services where they might not get good hit rates. So that's something that you need to look into as well. Let's see. This one doesn't give you anything. So here, batch skip tracing. This is something that you can look into. They charge 20 cents for a minimum order of 50, and obviously like it's a lot more expensive than the 5 cents that you saw on Fiverr, but it might mean that the quality is a little higher. You never really know until you order it, but again, that's something that you can go ahead and look into. I know some people charge 20 cents, 30 cents, 15 cents. Now the last thing is, we have our own. Again, it's totally up to you. I'm not trying to endorse it in any way. It's just something that we use, and a lot of people ask us like, oh, what do you use for skip tracing? So this is exactly what we use. We even pay for our own skip tracing services for ourselves as well, and we charge 10 cents per contact because we know it's really, really good data. We can give you the skip tracing data within 24 hours. We have an 80% plus hit rate, and we only give you mobile numbers because most of the time phone numbers, people are with their phones all the time, and that's the number that you're going to be wanting to contact anyway, so we only do mobile numbers, and the 3 best phone numbers as well, and we also give you email addresses if we find them as well. So again, if you want that, go ahead and feel free to let me know. I'll leave the link in the description below if you ever want to order skip tracing from us. But again, it's in no way like I'm telling you to go ahead and do it. It's just something that we provide if you guys are interested at all. I know it's a Google Forms for now. We're gonna make a site for it probably sometime soon, but we don't really have the time for it now, so this is why it's on a Google Form for now. So now that you have a list that's skip traced as well, and you have all this data, then you might ask, well, where do I keep all this and how do I manage all this stuff? That's where a CRM comes into play. And obviously there's a bunch of CRM out there, and really it doesn't really matter what CRM you use. It really depends on which one you're comfortable using and which one you're able to think that you're able to scale your business as much as you can with. And so I know a lot of wholesalers, they use Podio. That's one of the CRMs that is very, very popular. Another one that you can obviously use is like HubSpot. We use Zoho CRM. It really doesn't matter. It's totally up to you, but I highly recommend that you keep all these contacts and lists into a CRM so that you can go ahead and organize them, and also keep track of, which ones you've contacted already, what notes you can keep into a contact that you've had. For example, if you went on a call and someone said, oh, give me a call back 3 days later, I'm sure you're not going to remember 1,000 of them. So you need to have some type of management like this in place. And again, Podio is the one that everyone uses, but it didn't really work out for me, so that's not something that we're using. Again, find one that works for you. And that's pretty much all for this video. In the next video, I'll go ahead and talk more about how you contact these people, what kind of, scripts that you might have in order to be able to speak with people, what are the questions you ask sellers and whatnot. So that's going to be all in the next video, but hopefully this video was informative, and hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.